director on the board of 2 MNCs. As a company secretary and law graduate, he has over 30 years of corporate experience. He is on the expert committees of Bangalore Chamber of Industries and Commerce and Confederation of Indian Institute of Karnataka Chapter. He is a professional speaker and club coach of 3 Toastmasters corporate clubs, GSK, Intel, and Rockwell Automation. Please join me in welcoming Toastmaster of the Day, DTM Milind. Toastmaster of the Day. Over to you, Milind.
Thank you, my dazzling club president, Toastmaster Joseph Benedict, my sparkling guest, and my scintillating club members and other Toastmasters. I have a question to you. When was India's 12th National Voters' Day celebrated? Anyone? They can unmute themselves. Okay. Since we have some people from other countries, like I see Toastmaster Chi Pei. So do you have a National Voters' Day at your country in Malaysia?
Yes, we do have.
Wow, that's great. So now I'm asking for my countrymen. How many of you know? Well, oh, someone told. Okay, great. I think Deepa must have Googled it. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Even she's not done it, great. So that's kudos to the Toastmaster Deepa. So it is 25th of January is the National Voters' Day. And what is the significance of this National Voters' Day of 25th January specifically? Why is that particular day selected? Any idea? Because on 25th January 1950, Election Commission of India was founded, as that is the foundation day of Election Commission of India. And those, all of us must be knowing, our Republic Day is 26th of January 1950. So before the Republic Day was there, because of the Republic Day, we had our Indian Constitution, which provided governance mechanism for the citizens of our country. So before that day, Election Commission was established. However, if you see it mentioned as 12th National Voters' Day, because it was only in the year 2011 when we started celebrating this particular thing. Now, one question, who do you think is the government authority or the body or department who takes the effect of celebrating that particular day? Any suggestions, any idea, any wild guesses? It is the Election Commission of India, because they, after all, it's their prerogative to hold election. And any idea what was the theme of this particular 12th National Voters' Day?
Let us vote.
It was, yeah. It was making election inclusive, accessible, and participative. So mark this word, inclusive, accessible, and participative. So election is a participative process. So many democracies like India, we have this participation. And the focus of this particular is to ensure that there's a power in every vote. My vote is my future. Now, talking of elections, but even for other countries or our country, how many types of elections we have, which Election Commission conducts? Any questions? Any suggestions? You can unmute yourself and tell me.
Yeah, national election, state elections, municipal elections, and Gram Panchayat elections.
Correct. So mainly there are three types. So there are central, that is the national, which is there, where we call it as a Lok Sabha, or the in India we call it as a person we select is the member of parliament. At state level, we have assembly election, we have MLAs, member of legislative assemblies. And at local level, it's if it's a village, in village we say gram in Indian language. So it's called Gram Panchayat. In towns, it is called corporations, municipal corporation elections. Now, any idea which of these elections, or even after these elections are completed, where you have the right to participate in the governance mechanism?
When there is non-compliance of their electoral mandate.
Which of these three categories? So what I wanted to ask you, so it's at the local level, at the municipal corporation or at the Gram Panchayat, you even after the election, even if you appoint the Panchayat, or even after you appoint elect your corporator or Nagar Sevak, what they say in India, you still have a say in dictating terms as to what should be done for your locality, where the street light should be there, where the public toilet should be there, which road is required to be done, which footpath to be constructed. And that's why we have two civic bodies. One is the Area Sabha. Area Sabha, Sabha means assembly in Indian language. So area assembly. So in every ward, every corporator election, that particular locality may be, like in my locality is 2.5 square kilometers, but there may be a bigger thing, but it can be broken up into different layouts and areas, and you as a voter of that particular area can attend something called as Area Sabha meetings, conduct the meeting, suggest what you want. So that is the beauty of that. And based on that, that recommendation will be given to the ward committee members. And only after that, the corporator's duty is to make sure whatever suggestions has come from your area Sabha, from your ward Sabha, he has to execute it. That's all. How many of you are actually aware of this, that you have under the constitution, there's something called Area Sabha? Do you know whether it's you have it at your locality, or you have it in whether you have a ward committee? Make sure, find out whether you are in Kolkata, whether you are in Bangalore, whether you are in any part of Delhi. Every municipal corporation has a right, as Constitution has given this power to us, that you have to ask questions if you don't have a proper Area Sabha constituted. Why not? If not, you start today. You make it today. You form a ward committee and then you share their recommendations. So that is the beauty, where you yourself has the power to participate in the local governance and become a decision maker. Now, of course, whenever you want to take a decision, you may see, even when you have apartments meetings or something in your locality, some people are very good in communicating what they want. And some people, they want to say in 2 minutes, but that 2 minutes are never over. And they forget what they want to say. And that is not, it's a very common everywhere across the globe. And that was the perfect reason why Sri Ralsis Medley thought there has to be proper mechanism where people can be trained how to conduct a committee meeting successfully. And that's why way back on October 22nd, 1924, he formed the first Toastmasters meeting, where this teaching, we are assumed that speakers are born leaders, leaders are born, or speakers they are born orators. Answer is no. There are mechanisms, and this is the forum where you can actually use your skills. And thanks to Ralph Smedley, our founder, since 1924, this Toastmasters banyan tree has grown in shape and size with 15,800 clubs in 146 countries with over 3 lakh active members. Toastmaster helps you to break your barrier and not your budget. And kudos to each one of you for joining this Toastmasters meeting. I'm confident each one of you will become a better leader, better communicator, better human being, as the tagline of Toastmaster is, where leaders are made. Every Toastmasters meeting has 3 basic stages or parts. One is prepared speech. Number 2 is prepared table topics and evaluation. Now, evaluation is something very important because they say evaluation is the breakfast of champion, or the feedback is the breakfast of champion. And we have a dedicated general evaluator today. The dedicated general evaluator for the day is a Toastmaster since 2016. In his brief journey in Toastmasters, he found that this organization called Toastmasters can change lives. Yes, Toastmasters do genuinely change life. It is not a placebo. It encourages, this organization encouraged the general evaluator to be an Amazon best-selling writer in his very first book, which he co-authored, I Am Possible. Currently is writing his solo book. He's a keynote speaker and a leader. He has achieved distinguished Toastmaster designation twice and is a recipient of outstanding member pin from Toastmasters International Club President Richard E. Peck. So please join me in welcoming the founder of One Cognizant Toastmasters Club, Kolkata, distinguished Toastmaster Chayan Pan.
Thank you so much, Mr. Toastmaster, for that really long and very, very delightful introduction. Ladies and gentlemen, my role as a general evaluator is to ensure that I have an eye on the proceedings from the moment the SAR came into the virtual podium till the moment that we finish the proceedings. And of course, this is an arduous task which I cannot accomplish on my own. So I have 3 pillars of support who help me in this, in the form of the timer, the R counter, and the grammarian. I would be requesting them to come onto the virtual podium and introduce their roles one by one. And I would request them to be brief because I believe we are running a little behind time. I will first like to invite the timer, Toastmaster Adarsh, to come to the virtual podium and explain his role. Toastmaster Adarsh, the virtual podium is yours.
Thank you very much, DT and Chayan. It's an absolute pleasure to play the role of a timer today. As my role as a timer, it's important for me to time all of your table topics and speeches. So we have around 3 speeches lined up today, of which one of them is an icebreaker speech. So an icebreaker speech will be for 4 to 6 minutes. So when the speaker reaches the 4th minute, I'll display the green card, just like this. And when the speaker reaches the 5th minute, I'll display the yellow card, just like this. And when the speaker reaches the 6th minute, I'll display the red card, which is a sign that you're supposed to stop talking. As for the other 2 speeches, which is for around 5 to 7 minutes, I'll display the green card. When you reach the 5th minute, I'll display the yellow card, apologies. When you reach the 6th minute, and when you reach the 7th minute, I'll display the red card, just like this. So for table topic speeches, we usually speak for around 1 to 2 minutes. So when you reach the 1st minute, I will display the green card, just like this. I'll display the yellow card when you reach the 2nd minute. I'm sorry, I'll display the yellow card when you reach 1 minute and 30 seconds, and display the red card when you reach the 2nd minute. And please bear in mind that you'll have around 30 seconds of grace period to finish your table topic. Make sure to be on time. And that's it from me as a timer. And yes, I also forgot to mention the evaluation roles. So for the evaluation roles, you'll have around 2 to 3 minutes. So I'll display the green card when you reach the 2nd minute. I'll display the yellow card when you reach 2 minutes and 30 seconds. And when you reach the 3rd minute, I will display the red card, which is a sign that you're supposed to stop. So on that note, I'd like to hand it back to our General Evaluator for today, Toastmaster Chai.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Adarsh. The second role of the R counter today is being played by Toastmaster Jaya. May I request Toastmaster Jaya to come to the virtual podium and explain the role?
Thank you, Toastmaster General Evaluator. And good evening, greetings to Toastmasters and guests. The purpose of our counter is to note down words and sounds that are used as a crutch or pause filler by anyone who speaks. During the meeting, I'll list the number of overused words, including and, well, but, so, and you know. I will also listen to filler sounds, including oh, or. I will also note when a speaker repeats a word or phrase, such as I, or this means, this means. At the end of meeting, I will report the number of times that each speaker used these expressions once called upon by General Evaluator. That's all from our counter desk. Over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Jaya. Well, last but not the least is the person who's going to ensure that we are true to the grammar. Introducing and inviting to the virtual stage, I have the grammarian for today, which is Toastmaster Bidu. Toastmaster Bidu, may I request you to please explain your role?
Thank you, General Evaluator. Dear Toastmasters, as a grammarian, it is my responsibility to pay close attention to all the speakers and take note of outstanding usages of the words, good sentences, and good phrases. Also, I would highlight the improvement areas in places where the speaker uses not so good phrases. It is also my duty to introduce the word of the day. The word of the day is placebo effect. The term is derived from medical science and it means dummy treatment or a treatment which has no therapeutic effect. We can use this term in our daily English usage as well. I'll give an example. A few encouraging words by a coach to an athlete acted as a placebo to improve his confidence before a competition. I request the speakers to give it a try and see if they can use this term during their speeches. And if they do, I will give a thumbs up and acknowledge them at the end when I'm called back. TMOD Milind has already got my brownie points for using this word while inviting the General Evaluator. Over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Bidu. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to come at the third section to give my evaluation. Until that time, I hand it over to our amazing Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Milind. Over to you, sir.
It's time to begin session 1, the prepared speeches. I notice the evaluator for the prepared speech, number 1.
So let me interrupt. The first speaker for today will be Toastmaster Smitha.
Okay, so we are changing the order. Thank you for that. So the evaluator for the first speech is a person who is residing in Bankura, which is almost 4 hours journey from the city of Kolkata, and she's from Win Toastmasters Club. So please join me in welcoming the evaluator for the speech number 1, Toastmaster Jayanti Datta.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the day. Good evening to everyone. Sorry, this is not an evaluation, I'm sorry. Good evening to everybody. Good evening, guests. This purpose of this project is for the member to introduce himself or herself to the club and learn the basic structure of a public speech. The speaker is giving her first speech, her icebreaker, from the pathway Presentation Mastery. Good luck. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
The speaker for the day, number 1, has recently graduated with doctorate in management, and she's focusing after a job-oriented job, especially in around Delhi, preferably in a startup in an HR department. Her hobby is to interact with people. She likes to watch cookery shows, especially to cook healthy dishes. And she reads articles that enhances her knowledge. how to be healthy. So please, speech title, The 3 Key Lessons of My Life. The 3 Key Lessons of My Life. Toastmasters Meeta.
Good evening, Toastmasters and dear guests. First, let me introduce myself with my name. My name is Smita Gupta. I'm often asked to repeat my name again and again when I meet with someone, and I'm glad people ask me to do so, to spell my name correctly, and absolutely love to hear my name. I think it's a very beautiful name with its beautiful meaning. It means ever smiling lady. As a child, I was very notorious girl. I used to wake up at night, and when my parents used to ask me what happened to me, I used to pretend of not listening anything and sit for 2 to 3 hours in the same posture. I don't know why. I grew up in central east part of India. The name of city is Banda. It is situated in historical Bundelkhand region, and it's a part of Chitrakoot division. It is famous for 3 reasons. It is a birthplace of Goswami Tulsidas, and Lord Ram stayed there at the time of Banwas. It is especially famous for Sazar stone, which is used for making jewelries. I have very beautiful family. I love to each and every member of my family. My father, Mr. Avnash Kumar Gupta, is a retired government teacher, and my mother, Mrs. Gayatri Gupta, is a homemaker. I have 3 siblings. We love to spend time with each other. We have a lot of problems. We discuss a lot of problems and take solution from each one of them. Right after my 10th grade, I got the opportunity to take part in scouting with my seniors. Scouting tries to develop communication skill, leadership skill, team building skill. So we went out for 4 or 5 days, and we spent we spent each and every activity. We enjoyed each and every activity there. We had to compete with our school, top school in our area. So we as a team worked hard with full cooperation and coordination, and finally got the trophy for our school for the first time. It learned me a lesson. Alone we can do so little, but together we can do so much. Moving further, I wanted to become a doctor because I got good marks in biology, but somehow I could not get right direction to crack CPMT and could not get sufficient resources to achieve my dream. I felt very bad when my friend got the opportunity to go out for the coaching, cracked CPMT, and became doctor. I really feel bad, not because of her success, but because of my failure. After that, I did my graduation and post-graduation, and then I worked very hard to crack written examination as well as interview for PhD. Now I'm in front of you with the title of doctor, and here I learned uh, dream big and work hard to make it complete. Dream big and work hard to make it complete. As a researcher, I'm very good in writing and analyzing facts from the data, but I would run away from the public speaking. I still remember that day when I had to give an interview and I was very nervous. After a few days, when I went for the second interview, I was little nervous. So I got the catch that I had to put myself in that nervous and chatty situation to grow from them. I learned that I should improve myself, and I should do things whatever I feel I cannot do. So from this, I learned a third and very important lesson, that never stop learning, because life never stops teaching. I would conclude by saying that my life's purpose is to learn and grow continuously. And what about you? With this,
Thank you, Toastmaster Smita Gupta, for having a fantastic purpose, is to learn and grow. And I'm sure in Toastmasters, that's what we do. And we don't have this as a placebo effect. We actually learn and actually we grow. You see a lot of people doing over here. We are real life examples over here. Now coming to the speaker number 2. So the speaker number 2, before I call her, may I invite the evaluator for speaker number 2, Toastmaster Deepa. Over to you, Toastmaster Deepa.
Thank you, distinguished Toastmaster Milind. Our next speaker is attempting her project called Understanding Emotional Intelligence. The purpose of this project is for the member to cultivate an understanding of how his or her emotions impact relationships. It's also designed to help the member identify others' emotions, how others' emotions impact her emotional state. So the purpose is for her to share aspect of her experience journaling these emotions and being aware of emotions when she's been interacting with others. Timer, please note, time is 5 to 7 minutes. Over to the Toastmaster of the evening.
Thank you, Toastmaster Deepa, for taking up this evaluator's role on the fly. No doubt, you are the master in table topic, so you have inculcated this habit of taking any role on the fly. As you may be knowing, many of you, Toastmaster Deepa has been conducting multiple sessions across the globe on education session on how to become an effective table topic master. And that's what she did right now too. Now coming to the speaker for the day now, second speaker. She is graduating soon from the CMS Jain University, Bangalore. She's from the club, CMS Toastmasters Club. Her path is motivational strategy. So please invite me in welcoming Toastmaster Kiran Munwal. Speech title, A Life with Less Rich Things. A Life with Less Rich Things. Toastmaster Kiran Munwal.
Thank you, sir. I would like to correct you here. The title is Rich Life with Less and App Stuff. Okay. Can I start my speech? Am I ready? Okay. Thank you. Have you ever stopped to think about how much stuff you own? Do you think the stuff you own around you is enough? Or is it too much? Our culture has played a lot of importance on this. There's a perception that the more you have, the more better off you are. The more you have, the more wealthier you are. The more you have, the more happier you are. Isn't it right, whatever I'm telling you right now? Society has constantly encouraged us to buy more stuff. If I told you today, just in case, just a hypothetical question, you only had to live with the bare necessities of your life and give up whatever you had, would you do that? I wonder, why would you do that? You would rather ask me this question: why not take the advantage of the inventions and the luxuries that are available to us? You would instead tell me that I've earned the right to live like this. This is the way I want to live. And they're completely right about this. What am I exactly referring to here? Let me quote it for you. Nicholas Burgers. Minimalism is not a lack of something, it's just a perfect amount of something. Can anyone guess what I'm exactly talking about? I literally quoted it out. Is there anyone who can just quickly tell me? Okay, let me tell you. It's minimalism. How did I even get to know about this concept? How was I introduced? It's very astonishing, but being a Gen Z myself, I think it's very common. I watched a documentary because I was really bored. And then minimalism came through. Minimalism is a documentary about important things by Joshua and Adding Up with Mary Kondo. These two documentaries literally changed my perception about minimalism. What is minimalism exactly to me? Being a minimalist, you value yourself more than the materialistic things around you. It means decision based on what you need instead of getting everything you want. It means they are something you need regardless of how much they cost you. In my own life, thinking about me, I've fallen into this trap. The more it is better. I want all the clothes, jewelry that every girl thought that she needed. Little did I know I did not need all of this because I never actually used them. They were just there in my cupboard, hoarding up. It was disheartening to give up at one point of time, but when I started it off, it kind of felt good. It can be really horrible and daunting to look around your home at those overstuffed bookshelves, the attics, or the garage filled with boxes of old things, and that overflowing wardrobe of yours. Oh my god. I would suggest you to not go ahead with larger stuffs. If you want to go with minimalism, it's a gradual process, I would suggest. You take it with small pieces and relatively a small area that you think could be a good start. A simple rule of thumb, let me tell you. If the item is not essential for you, just get rid of it. You do not need it. If you're trying to decide a certain point that you need something, put them in a box with a certain date marked on it. After a few months, a couple of months, if you haven't needed them or if you haven't used them, it's likely that you can live without it. Get rid of it again. A handy tip to me and for you also. If your closets are overflowing like mine, I would suggest you that put your hangers in a right direction, and once you've worn something, put it backward. Now, end of the season, you know what clothes you've used and what you haven't. And what you haven't, is that the thing that you need to get rid of. What do you do with all the stuff that you've gathered into declutter now? You can do one thing. Because you think they are valuable and they can actually hold some value to your friends and family, you can pass it on. If you feel that they're too old, you can sell it to cash. In addition, there are places that take it on online websites. You may also prefer to donate them. That is a good charitable cause. Maybe if you think they're too worn out to get rid of, there are many resale places or giveaway places that you can cash them completely. Once you've completed all of this, let me tell you, the biggest task comes here. There's an additional challenge of keeping it away. It can be a placebo that requires a mental effort, but this will pay you off. Keep that in mind. Remember, the more stuff you have, the more the stuff will own you. The fewer things in home, the easier it is to clean. Personal belongings are not the key to happiness. Maybe when you pare down these possessions, you're simplifying your life and you're making your life very, very simple to you and to your people around. You're spending more time with the people you love instead of organizing and cleaning those stuffs that you don't need. I've been trying to declutter and been trying to keep myself more and more material free. But there, the challenge is when you start, you don't know where to start from. The same difficulty was faced by me. Sometimes it was difficult to know what is needed and what wasn't needed. Me personally, a storeroom idea and the hanger one worked well. I was not sure, but then it gave me time to figure out what was needed and what was not. When you look around to your home today, take a look around. Is it calming and welcoming? Or is it a battlefield that contains chaos? If you don't feel relaxed and peaceful, I think it's time now that you try the minimalistic approach. The great thing about minimalism is that it is a choice to you. People can choose whether they want to live like this or not. They can choose how far they want to go with this approach. There's no right or wrong ways to downsize your life. Everyone is different. Me, myself, is different from you. What most people will find once they begin the journey towards it is that experience will grow and the benefits will get larger. And they will want more of this minimalism. And that's the only one thing that you will want more of. Thank you, and over to the table, Dr. Master.
Thank you, Toastmaster Kiran, for focusing on highlighting and inspiring us to go into minimalism. And in this world, when we have those Amazons and Flipkarts where we're giving us discounts, 50% discount, it's much more challenging than what it was. So it's a challenge for us. So it will be kudos to you for sharing this important aspect. Because what they say nowadays, planet, so we have Planet Climate Summit, which we had recently. We are using, our needs are less, but our greeds are much more. And that is the main cause of spoiling our green planet. So thank you, Toastmaster Kiran. So with this, now we move to the prepared speech number 3. And for that, I invite the evaluator for speech number 3, Toastmaster Vinit. So Toastmaster Vinit, over to you.
Thank you so much, DTM Milind. So the purpose of today's project, which Toastmaster Nitin Guram is going to attempt, is for the member to identify his or her primary leadership style, and it is also to share some aspect of his primary leadership style and then discuss leadership styles in general. Pathway is dynamic leadership and project level is 2P1, project 1, and for the timing is 5 to 7 minutes. Over to you, DTM Milind.
Thank you, Toastmaster Vinit. Now it's time for our own club member, Toastmaster Nitin. He's a very active sportsman. His hobbies are play guitar and play with his kids. And he's a student of Chartered Accountancy and MBA. So please join me in welcoming the speaker number 3, Toastmaster Nitin. Speech title, Find Your Inside Leader. Find Your Inside Leader. Toastmaster Nitin.
I never say that everyone is a born leader, but it is possible to evolve as a leader by anyone that is born. So will anyone describe who is a leader in their opinion? A one chance. Please unmute yourself. Anyone?
Okay, yes, can I add on?
Yeah.
Yeah, leader is someone who empowers and enables team members.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, in many opinions, leader is justified in various categories. In some opinion, a leader is someone who only guides them. In some opinions, leader is someone who does everything. But in my opinion, leader is not only a person who gives you order and makes you do things. A leader is a person who makes the others in the group as effective and same to his capability leader. He should make everyone in his group to prepare themselves and face challenges, whatever they get, and get going in the same way. Leadership is not about a title or a position. Rather, it's the example that you set to others. But in real life, there are many people that think a leader is someone who squeezes you to do some things, and who is someone rude, shouting like blah, 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 and kind of things to make you do some things. In pathways, I have chosen the dynamic leadership pathway. Upon launching my level 2, I had to go through a test to see my leadership style. Seeing the results, I was shocked at the first, but later on, I felt very glad by understanding myself and knowing my leadership style. Let me tell you why I was shocked. By the way, it's innovative leadership, my leadership style. The reason I got shocked is my screen got scrolled up a little bit and I saw on the top was authoritative leadership. I didn't understand how I was authoritative after answering a long process of questions. But later on, seeing the final result, it was an innovative leadership style. And I felt very good because nowadays, the main kind of leadership style is innovative leadership style. Many argue that democratic leadership style is the best form of leadership style. As per the survey, 70% told the same in India and 40% of the world arguing that democratic is the style. But let me tell you, innovative is the upcoming and the present thing that changes the world, because there are many innovative leaders. How? How is it changing the world? Let me tell you. If you see many people now, like Bill Gates, Steve Jobs, Jeff Bezos, Mark Zuckerberg, and coming to India, the Ambanis, the Adani, Gautam Adani, and not only that, Sundar Pichai and Satya Nadella, who went abroad, making our India proud. All these are innovative leaders because they got some innovative ideas into this world that changed us. Now we are sitting in front of the virtual world because of Steve Jobs and Mark Zuckerberg. Yeah, it is the innovation that they have made. It is Bill Gates that gave us Windows, and it is the Ambanis that they are making possible for us, Ambani and the Steve Jobs, sitting in home, getting everything to home. Yeah, let me tell you the difference, what I saw. Democratic leadership style, many argue that it is the way of style because Mahatma Gandhi, Martin Luther King Jr., everyone way past in the 19s or later in the 2001 to 2002, these were the time where the world was going through a crisis of war, but not a crisis where they are not getting innovated. So that was the leadership style then. But mark my words, innovative leadership style is going to gear up and it is going to be the best. So let's see. There are many modern leaders as business people, I told you. And is it enough for a leader to be innovative enough? No, not at all. There are many other qualities that a leader should even have. In my opinion, or in my view, what I saw leadership as, there should be effective coaching for a leadership and he should be affirmative. Let me tell you, effective coaching, a mother will start her coaching to their children, his or her children from the beginning of his life, from mother to teacher to a lecturer to his boss, and he becoming the boss and starting him as the coach or the leader. So if coaching is very much required to a leader to make others come in his path and make them leaders in a great way and making them affirmative. Today being the weekend, we are sitting in front of the laptop, checking out in a very good way because we are having that time and we are also having that passion. There are many companies, right? Corporate companies that are going to jobs and we are doing that. And schools, they have to provide a compassionate and a very good looking environment that they have to make others, each other talk. So what happens if they make? This is the affirmative kind of leadership. So if a leader is having affirmative kind of leadership in himself, he will give upon a chance to all the group members to share ideas where he will get new ideas or he will even improve his own ideas. And group members, if they are talking to each other, the communication goes well. And communication is the first step towards the profits, which a corporate company always goes and the world is going forward towards nowadays. So let me come to my topic. So innovative leadership. After talking that, I was very glad that I got this because I am a leader from maybe my 6th class. Yeah, now I completed even my degree, but in my 6th class, I joined Leo Club, where most of you have been knowing about the Lions Club, right? In all your localities. In the same way, Leo Club is the children's club where I was a charter president of Leo Club, the first president of Leo Club. And I feel very proud to be the charter president because every time I go to the club, even now, they'll recognize me as the first president, but no other president, I never saw that. And now, at present, I am the district president of the same Leo Club where I am handling more than 7 clubs in our district. So I feel proud because I had many kind of thoughts when I was a president, and now also we changed our club where many clubs we improved. We added 2 more clubs. In the same way, we did many more clubs. So this is my view on the leadership. There may be various views and opinions on leadership to everyone. This is a journey of me identifying my own leader inside me. Hope you all get to yours. Thank you, and over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Nitin, for giving us a master class on leadership skills and styles of leadership and your preference for innovative skills, innovative leader. At the same time, you shared other points too. So kudos to you with sharing your personal experience. So with this, we come to an end to the first part of our Toastmasters meeting, prepared speech. And now we have to go into some action, quick, fast action, something in cricket parlance, 2020 cricket. And that's called as table topic. The table topic master for the day is a vice president of Sigambut Toastmaster Club, Malaysia. Initially, she joined Toastmasters to improve her presentation skills. She was surprised to know that in Toastmasters, there were so many other things which would benefit her, like enhancement of her leadership skills, project management, relationship building, coaching, and so on. And hence, now she's totally committed to Toastmasters Club. Please join me in welcoming the table topic master for the day, Toastmaster Chin Pei. Toastmaster Chin Pei, over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the Day, for the introduction. So in just Toastmaster Milind was asking how should he pronounce my name, and I was awakened by the fact that my name was pronounced as Chin and Pei, like as in paying money. And very interesting, the name Chin actually means money in Chinese. So that was I had an awakening moment that my name actually means Chin and Pei. I wish I had my sister's name because her name is Chin En. It's very interesting. Anyway, in today's session, table topic session, with the meeting theme, citizen participation in municipal corporation, I will apologize first if my questions are a little bit unaligned, but my opinion is that one of the way to participate is to give your opinions. So in this session, feel free to volunteer yourself and take part in table topics so that you can give your opinions with the given topic later on. You will be given 1 to 2 minutes to deliver your speech. And you are encouraged to use the word of the day, placebo. Yeah. And I also put the list in the chat. If any one of you is interested, you can list down your name here. Yeah, I saw someone volunteered. So that is a guest, Munish. Munish, would you like to unmute yourself and give a try, or you would like to go for the second one since you might? Yes, Munish?
I'll go for first one.
Great, that is wonderful. Number 1 to number 8. Which number is your favorite number?
5.
Number 5. Number 5, the question is, suggest a city mascot. Munish, suggest a city mascot. Suggest a city mascot, Munish.
I didn't understand. Suggest a city mascot.
Mascot is like
Remember, in Asian
an
games,
icon.
we had Appu as a mascot. So that's what she's saying, mascot.
I didn't understand. Can you?
Would you like to choose a second another number if that is fine?
Yes, 4.
Number 4.
Yes.
Oh, the question is, what change would you recommend for existing education system? What change would you recommend for existing education system?
Good evening, everybody. What change I want the existing education system? When I was a child, when I was a student, my job was only to clear the exam. Whenever there is any exam, any paper, before that few days, I used to mug up. I used to walk on my terrace, get up in the morning, keep on mugging up, but I didn't understand what was the answer. That is the biggest drawback I have. After clearing, suppose if I was in class 11th, and when I cleared class 11th, I went to class 12th. Whatever I learned in class 11th, I forgot everything, which is not in the Western world. Here they make you understand the thing. Instead of mugging up, that is absolutely wrong. That we should make them understand that this is the answer of this thing, this is a question and this is an answer. Till this is not I have seen it's not me. After doing graduation, I remember I was not able to read the paper also properly. It's not that me, I've seen many people in my town after going to university, they do not know anything. They have no knowledge. Just they have cleared the exam. Some of them, they have cleared the exam with first division also, but they are totally useless. Instead of that, get less number, but try to understand if that topic is given, if that topic is discussed somewhere, we should have knowledge regarding that. That is only possible. The teacher also make us try to make this answer understand, and we should also try to understand that thing, and we should use our own wording to write the answer. Instead of whatever we have mugged up, we write, that's absolutely wrong, which I saw in England when my son went over there, and they faced the same problem over there because they have the habit of mugging up, and they have to understand each everything. Over to the Toastmaster, please.
Great. Thank you, Manish. Thank you for telling us that the essence in education is understanding. Thank you so much for that. And moving on, Bindu has volunteered to be the fourth speaker. Anyone else?
Yes, I am willing to take. This is Pat.
Pat. Great, thank you. Number 1 to number 8, except for 4 and 5. Which number?
I'm born 8, therefore 8.
8. 8 is a lucky number in Chinese.
Oh.
Number 8, the question is, should we build more homes in city? Should we build more homes in city? Over to you.
Residential homes or orphanage homes? Okay, all right. Table Topics Master, fellow members, and honored guest. The proposition is, should we build more homes in the city? Obviously, that is what we have been witnessing probably in the recent past of, say, last 10 to 15 years, how the cities, whether it's an Indian context or a global context, have spread over. It is because of the factor called education. Those days, it was limited to a few number of people. But now that the society is open society, in a country like India, a place like Tamil Nadu, where I live, it has gone far and wide, the essence and significance of education. When more and more people get educated and ready to take up jobs, which can provide, it is the cities, the urbanized centers, they can only provide jobs. See, if they want to take up jobs, then they have got to move to the cities. And where would they live? They need some residence, either rented or their own. Therefore, cities does need more homes. The more the homes, more the development and better growth, better advancement, and one day they may become prominent in the global atmosphere. Like Chennai, they say, stands number 25 in the cities of the world. But I would definitely discourage the emergence of orphanage homes. That is a very potentially a dangerous signal. That means we are educated but we are educated at the cost of the loss of values, the human values and the social values. Yes, cities with good homes, nice homes, valuable homes will definitely leave a placebo effect indirectly. Back to you, Table Topics Master.
Wow, that was really a thought-provoking speech. Thank you so much. We have another 5 questions. Would anyone like to give a try? If there is no one, can I call upon Bidu for the next as a next speaker? Oh, Suraj.
Hi.
Hi. Number 1 to number 8, except for 4, 5, 8. Which number?
Any number, you choose that for me. Maybe
the
7.
First one.
7
the first
is good.
one? A 7. 7. The topic is the benefits of improving transport links. The benefits of improving transport links.
Benefit of improving what?
Transportation links. Transportation. Transport links.
Okay.
Over to you.
Economy, better economy or better communication. So let's say the underlying thing for any economy to boom and to prosper is communication. And what I mean by communication here is, let's say, transportation. It can be intercity transportation, it can be intracity transportation, or it can be transportation between countries, states, and cities. So I feel that the transportation has to be one of the best for any economy to kind of prosper and do well, because that's what we are seeing now here in India. You see, the first thing for any, let's say, a city or a nation to do well is to have a better infrastructure. So if I don't have a better infrastructure, I don't have a better communication network, how am I going to prosper? There is no foundation on which the city or economy is going to grow. So I conclude by telling that transportation has to be at its best for a better economy. Thank you.
Thank you. I agree so much, because improving transport links also means people are more accessible to jobs, to places. Now we will go with the final speaker, that will be Bidu. Bidu?
Hi.
Number 1, 2, 3, and 6. Which is your favorite number?
1.
Number 1. The topic is 3 ways to make our cities more livable by 2030. 3 ways to make our cities more livable by 2030. Over to you.
3 ways to make our cities more livable. The first thing that comes to mind is widely been recorded. It's climate. India specifically is trying to achieve net zero by 2070. And especially one of the steps that has been taken is to ensure all the transportation vehicles are under electric vehicle by 2030. So the first thing is for us to support the government in buying electric vehicles. Point number 2 is, which has already been discussed in table topics, about education. For us to live a happy and a better life in 2020, people have to get access to skills which would make them more employable in the next 10-15 years. So we should have access to all those skills which are termed as future of skills, like, for example, machine learning, robotics, and even language learning. My third thing is community. With the increase in technology, I believe there are a lot of independent lives being led, people not interacting with human beings, but they're spending a lot of time in technology, in They are social, or in terms of what we call social avatars. So there has to be more connectivity in order to build a holistic living, a life out of technology. So these were my three things. The one, educate yourself with the skills which are relevant. Two, take care of the climate, adopt electric vehicles. And three, spend some time with community, with real life, in addition to your social avatars. Over to you, Table Topic Master.
Thank you, Bidu, for sharing this from different point of views, and that was really fantastic. Now that we have ended the session, and I will pass the stage back to Toastmaster Milind, the Toastmaster of the day. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Table Topic Master Chi Pei, for focusing on the theme of the day and encouraging everyone else to give a fantastic ideas which can be implemented. So kudos to you, and you're taking all your time coming from Malaysia and joining us. So let's give a lot of applause to Toastmaster, Table Topic Master Chi Pei. With this, we come to an end to the part 2 of our meeting. And now is the next part, which is the breakfast for the champion. So for that, I call the general evaluator, the double distinguished Toastmaster, Chan Pan. Over to you, sir.
Thank you so much, Mr. Toastmaster. You are very kind with your praise. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we had some fantastic speeches today, and I would be making a slight change in the order of the evaluation to accommodate one of our evaluators. I would be first calling upon the evaluator for Toastmaster Kiran, that was Toastmaster Deepa, to deliver an evaluation. Toastmaster Deepa, the virtual podium is yours.
Thank you, General Evaluator Toastmaster DTM Chayan Pant. And good evening to my target speaker, Kiran. Kiran, with your speech, you reminded me of the Great Pacific Garbage Patch. They say it's floating around the size twice the size of Texas, 3 times the size of France. And your story, your subject was so relevant to the generation that we live in, where we are used to use and throw. And your message was buy less, buy them if they're really valuable to you, if they really are necessary. Thank you for bringing up this beautiful subject. I liked a lot of things about your speech, Toastmaster Kiran, about your expression. You have a very expressive eyes. You know, I noticed that. And I noticed that you have vocal variety of stressing, expressing a certain emotion, like completely right. You have that knack of using them. And with respect to the structure of the speech, you brought in an intrigue. You asked questions to begin with, a series of questions. Then you brought a little bit of intrigue with that, I belong to generation, whatever. And then I was bored. And then I was watching a documentary. And then you slowly led us to where you were heading out. Excellent. And then the structure was very, very strategic. It was what is minimalism? How do you do it? Why should you do it? So very solid, watertight structure. You are a fluent speaker. I think you already know that about yourself. And I also saw you also use the word of the day. Kudos to you for doing that. Now, a couple of things that I would like you to challenge you with. First of all, we are in the virtual environment and we are supposed to be speaking to our cameras. So I kind of felt, because the placement of the camera was like below you, you were looking down on us. So it felt a little weird if you could shift the position to make it parallel to your face, so that at least half your torso is seen, so that we can see your hand movements, a little bit of maybe even explore your eye contact by seeing the camera hole. That would have been really good. So I would urge you to challenge yourself to practice for this newer generation of the pandemic, where you have to look into the camera's eyes. And the second one is about the audio quality. There was challenges in certain words. I wasn't able to hear them clearly. If you could check them before, by coming 10 minutes prior to the meeting and checking them prior, that way, it's so important for the audio to be all right. It's okay if the video is not all right. So keeping that in mind, I would urge you to check these main things. And another thing was, I wish you could show us some props, the things that you did as part of the minimalist exercise. Maybe that the way you put labels to certain objects and certain boxes, and you said, if I don't use it by this date, maybe you could show it to us. Maybe you could show the contents of it. I didn't use it by January, so it goes away. Maybe that way we have something to hold on to, some tangible idea. It's no more vague, and brings on more power to your speech. That said, Toastmaster Kiran, thank you for bringing this very beautiful topic and inspiring us to take up minimalism as part of our lives. They say, less the clutter in our room, the less the clutter on our mind, and the happier we are. And I truly accept that from you. Over to
Thank you so much. Thank you so
Toastmaster
much.
General evaluator.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Deepa, for that comprehensive evaluation. And to be very honest, I do not have anything further to add to what has already been covered by Toastmaster Deepa. We will move now to the evaluator of the first speaker, which was Toastmaster Jyothi Datta. I request Toastmaster Jyothi Datta to come to the virtual podium and deliver an evaluation.
Thank you, General Evaluator. Good evening once again, and a very special good evening to my target speaker. Toastmaster Smita, the ever-smiling lady, you not only broke the ice, you shattered it. And there are three shining moments in your speech. The first one, you spoke very confidently and you were well prepared. The second one, the whole thing about an icebreaker is not only for you to find your voice in front of the audience, but also for us to know what kind of a person you are, and you conveyed that very beautifully. The third point is there was vocal variety when you said, I could not clear the exams. Beautifully done. There was clarity in your voice and you were clearly audible. And the use of a personal story is always a wonderful bonus to us, because connect as an audience, we connect very well to a personal story. Now, to amplify the engagement impact of your speech, I have three suggestions for you. The first one is your visual setup. Now, Toastmaster Smita, I feel that this blurred background that you have took away some of your fingers. It cut, and when you were talking, it cut your fingers. So I would suggest, please don't do that again. Okay. And second, you were a bit nervous, and which is understandable. And you know how I understood that you are nervous? Because you were clasping and unclasping, clasping and unclasping. Instead of that, what you can do is you can walk. You have a beautiful stage over there. Walk from one side to the middle, the other side to the middle. Okay. And the third suggestion is your conclusion could have been more impactful. Maybe you could have added a line like, forget the problems, focus on the goal. And Toastmasters, I did exactly that. Something like that, to hit it, to punch it, kind of. In summary, Toastmaster Smita, with your strong points of confidence, explaining who you are, and use of a personal story, if you could include my suggestions of a better visual setup, control your nervousness, and an impactful conclusion, I think, Toastmaster Smita, you are a rising star. In fact, I have a poem for you. Twinkle, twinkle, little star, here comes the uprising Toastmaster star. Good luck to you. Over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Jyothi, for that wonderful evaluation. I have just two more points to add, Toastmaster Smita. Toastmaster Jyothi referred to the background setup. While there was a lot of halo coming with the message that you came in with, but I think there was a shining light behind you, which was also creating a halo behind you, which may not be required in a virtual setup. The second thing in a virtual meeting is very important to see where your camera is positioned. And when you're engaging with your audience, it's very important for you to connect, make eye contact with the audience. Like you would see right now, I'm making eye contact with you. But if I'm looking at the screen, I am not making eye contact with you because I'm looking at the screen. And this is visible to an audience when they are in a virtual setting. So be mindful of this in your speeches, because the eye contact is more important than your looking into the screen, because that's where you're going to connect with your audience. Overall, it was a great speech and I have nothing further to add. Icebreaker is just breaking the ice and there are mountains to conquer. So all the best for your journey. Thank you so much. Okay, the third speaker was Toastmaster Nitin, and may I request his individual evaluator, Toastmaster Vineet, to come to the virtual podium and present his evaluation. Toastmaster Vineet, the virtual podium is yours.
Thank you, General Evaluator, Distinguished Toastmaster Chayan Pant. Good evening, everyone, and particularly Toastmaster Nitin. I never say everyone is born as a leader, but everyone can evolve as a leader. What a start, Toastmaster Nitin. You captured our attention with the leadership quote at the start itself. And then you left no stone unturned in capturing 100% attention by asking a follow up question: who is a leader? And I think it made that placebo effect on most of us towards becoming better leaders. Thank you for letting us know the various styles of leadership: authoritative, innovative, democratic, and then you also explained each of those leadership styles. And particularly for letting us know your innovative leadership style. And it was obvious from your journey, right? When you said that the journey of leadership started when you were in sixth standard. Your early association with Lions Club. I missed that other club. I thought it's Leo Club, and of course now the Toastmasters. Toastmaster Nitin, I really like the clarity and vocal variety you had in all through your speech. For example, when you said this, communication is the first step towards progress. I could see that you were playing with your voice modulation, with your hand gesture and everything. Kudos to you for that, Toastmaster Nitin. For me, it would have been even more impactful if, as an audience, ending would have matched the impact that you created with your start, Toastmaster Nitin. It ended a bit abruptly for me without a clear takeaways. Let's say if you would have added those some of the summary that you said about this innovative leadership style, I could have taken it as a takeaway. And maybe a bit more engagement with the audience even during the speech would have kept it more curious and interested and all that. Having said that, Toastmaster Nitin, out and out an amazingly great informational speech on leadership. That is what was required as an objective. Congratulations for finishing your level 1 project 1 successfully, and I'm sure it has inspired all of us to find our inside leaders. With that, over to you, General Evaluator, double distinguished Toastmaster Chayan.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Vineet. Well, actually, however, those DTMs you may do, you are still referred to a DTM once. So that's DTM is good enough. All right. Yeah, I think that was a great evaluation done. The only thing I would like to add to it for Toastmaster Nitin is that there were some facts that I would recommend that you check, because you mentioned that Steve Jobs and Mark Zuckerberg were responsible for the virtual medium that we are in. But unfortunately, in their time, the video conferencing was not really there, at least Steve Jobs, for example. And Mark Zuckerberg with his platform was more into social media than really creating and connecting people. So, having clarity on the facts helps, especially because we are mentioning names over there. The second thing I want you to consider is the difference between sharp and fast and slow with flow. I felt a lot of areas in your speech, you were sharp and fast. You were trying to put on as many facts as possible to complete your speech. Whereas, had you considered slow with flow and pause, that would have allowed your audience to digest the message that you are giving. So I will challenge you to consider slow with flow in your next speech to ensure that this amazing message that you bring to your speeches is resonating with your audience and they digest it and it stays with them long after the meeting is passed. So thank you so much. It was a great speech done, and I would look forward to listening to your next speech again. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I will now move to the table topics evaluation. I hope that's the flow in the club, because some clubs have different ways.
DTM Chayan, we actually don't have table topics evaluation at our club.
Wonderful. Okay, fair enough. So I'll then call upon my wonderful tag team to come and present their reports, starting first with the timer. Toastmaster Adarsh, can you please come to the virtual podium and share your report? Thank you.
Thank you very much, DTM Chayan. So I'm going to be presenting my report as the timer today. And I must say that it was absolutely brilliant playing the role of a timer. All of you stuck to time. It was really brilliant, but I do have a few suggestions, but I'll get to that in a moment. I'll start with Toastmaster Shanti, who stuck to time pretty well. She spoke for around 2 minutes and 30 seconds. That's including the grace period of 30 seconds that I usually offer to the speakers. Moving on to our presiding officer, who exceeded the time limit by around 30 seconds. He was allotted around 4 minutes. So please work on that. I'll move on to DTM Milind, who went on for around 12 minutes and 2 seconds, although he's only allotted around 5 minutes. So I hope my spotlight is visible. I hope my background is visible. If not, please kindly work on it. The one way you can actually work on it is by reducing the amount of content that you use during the course of your speech, and also by paying close attention to the timer screen. I'll move on to our joke master for today, who was DTM Pat. He was absolutely brilliant with his joke, and he only took around 1 minute, but it was just sensational. Thank you very much for that. I'll move on to Toastmaster Smitha. Toastmaster Smitha spoke for around 5 minutes and 2 seconds, which was just over, I think she was allotted around 4 to 6 minutes to speak. So she stuck to time. So congratulations on that. Toastmaster Kiran spoke for around 6 minutes and 54 seconds, which is very close to the 7-minute mark, but she did a wonderful job by stopping at the right time. Then Toastmaster Nitin, oh, he had a close shave, if I'm not wrong. He spoke for 7 minutes precisely. I was just about to display the red card and stop him from talking further, but he did a wonderful job in stopping at the right time. As per our table topic speakers, I'll start with Toastmaster Munish. Munish spoke for around 2 minutes and 20 seconds, which is close to the 2 minutes and 30 seconds, which includes a grace period, as I said. DTM Pat spoke for around 2 minutes and 25 seconds. Toastmaster Suraj spoke for 1 minute and 35 seconds. Toastmaster Bidu spoke for 1 minute and 45 seconds. So congratulations, all of you are qualified for voting. Our timer reports are not being yet presented, except for mine, which is still being presented. I'll move on to our evaluator one, who was Toastmaster Jayati, who spoke for around 2 minutes and 40 seconds, which is pretty good when you think about it, because you're offered 3 minutes, including a grace period of, not including, but excluding a grace period of 30 seconds. Toastmaster Deepa spoke for around 3 minutes and 41 seconds, which is overtime. So she is, my apologies, disqualified for voting. Toastmaster Vineet spoke for 2 minutes and 24 seconds. Congratulations on that. Congratulations to everybody that happened to stick to time. Wonderful. I cannot wait to hear from you once again. On that note, I'll hand it back to our general evaluator today, Toastmaster Chayan.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Adarsh. I will now request the R counter for the meeting today, Toastmaster Jaya, to come to the virtual podium and deliver her report. Toastmaster Jaya, the virtual podium is yours.
Thank you, Toastmaster General Evaluator. Trust me, my CRPF counter, I must tell you, crutch word repetition, then P for pauses and F for fillers. It is almost empty. Considering that it is 652nd meeting, I could see, the brilliant speakers throughout the meeting. However, I have noted down some of the R's and M's which are very minimal. I'm coming from a club which is only 1 year old, so I can understand that there is a lot more to learn for me from this particular club. So I'm going to share my screen. Host has disabled participant screen sharing. Would you like to help me enable it?
Just a minute, Jaya. I'll make you the co-host.
Yeah.
Yes, you can go ahead.
Yeah. Yeah, this is my screen and you can see almost it is empty. This is the first time my screen is like this when I'm a counter. I can see only the pauses. That's only one thing which I noticed, which we can work upon. And considering it is table topics, I could see one of the speaker did one R, but that's okay because it's table topic and it's an impromptu speech. So nothing much from my side. Almost it is empty CRPF counter. That's all. Over to you, General Evaluator.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Jaya, for that comprehensive report. Well, as I said, I now call upon a very important member of my team who comes in last, which is the grammarian, Toastmaster Bidu. Toastmaster Bidu, can we have you on the virtual podium, please? Thank you.
Toastmaster Adarsh, could you help me? I'm unable to stop sharing.
Yeah, it's fine.
Thank you.
Okay. May I request the grammarian to come onto the virtual podium and share the report? Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. Again, so I would start off by highlighting the people who have used the word of the day, placebo effect. Placebo effect was used by 5 people today, which is quite a lot. TMOD Milind sir used it twice. Toastmasters Kiran used it. Our table topic master Chin Pei also used it. In one of the table topics, speaker Pat used it. And towards the end, Toastmasters Vinith also used it. So a big round of applause to all those people who have used the word of the day. Now, coming to the good usages of the word, there were a lot of good phrases and the words, and I'll just name them. One of the metaphor was used by Milind sir. It is called feedback is breakfast for champions. Our general evaluator used a phrase, mountains to conquer. Alongside, he also used some great words like arduous task. Speaker Toastmaster Smita used the word notorious, which means highly mischievous. Toastmasters Deepa used word intrigue, and she also used the phrase Toastmasters of the evening instead of Toastmasters of the day to indicate the specific time of the meeting. Coming to Toastmasters Kiran, she used phrases like rule of thumb, battlefield of chaos, and some nice words like declutter, downsize. Our table topic master Chin Pei used a phrase called awakening moment. And our evaluated two Toastmasters Jayanti used references like breaking the ice, shattering the ice, clasping and unclasping. Now coming on to the improvement areas, there are very, very few improvement areas. I'll just highlight two of them. We can use bit nervous instead of little nervous. And if you want to use a better word for mugging up, we can use rote learning. I would put this in the chat box for people to see. Over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Bidu, for that amazing variance report. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I will try to now evaluate the session as a whole. We had the session started by the Sergeant at Arms, Toastmaster Santi, and she did a great job in starting the meeting and brought in a lot of energy into the meeting. And then she had a wonderful introduction for the president, which is Toastmaster Benedict. And he came in with a wonderful story, and I was quite involved into the story as he went about explaining it. And there were so many elements which really stood out for me. The only feedback that I have for the president is that you also had some guests. So maybe you could have looked at some point of asking for the guest introductions, which would have made them feel welcome into the club. You can also possibly do that towards the end so that the club gets to know the guests who've come in, and that will really make them feel special. After the president, we had the Toastmaster of the day, distinguished Toastmaster Milind, who did a wonderful history lesson for me on the Election Commission of India. And somewhere I definitely felt embarrassed that being somebody who's been voting regularly since the time I was given the right to vote, there were so many elements of the Election Commission of India that I was not aware of. And thank you so much, distinguished Toastmaster Milind, for enlightening us with those amazing inputs and nuggets of wisdom. The only feedback is that maybe we have to be a little mindful of time, because in a Toastmasters meeting, we have to give maximum time to the speakers so that they can use this medium to become more and more effective speakers. But I think even the fact that you did exceed time, I think the information that you brought in was so valuable that I think none of the audience really felt that they were really going over time. So thank you so much for this amazing session. I will then go to an amazing person, and this, ladies and gentlemen, is the true sign of experienced Toastmaster, and I'm referring to distinguished Toastmaster Pat, who took on the impromptu role of the joke master and still came up with such an amazing joke. It was really hilarious, and something which just definitely lifted a lot of people's moods, other than those who are mother-in-laws. But I think the rest of them definitely enjoyed themselves. So thank you so much, distinguished Toastmaster Pat, for stepping in at the last moment and taking on this role. We had an amazing table topic session, which was, very capably handled by our table topics master, Toastmaster Chin. I think the session had all money in it. I think everybody was involved from the moment go. The speakers came in and they gave some amazing take on the topic, and kudos to you for really putting such amazing topics together. And I know it's not very easy when you are trying to have a theme which is something that you're not familiar with, but I think a lot of your topics resonated with the theme of the day. So I think kudos to you for doing such a fabulous job in that. So, and I do hope that I will be able to see another session with you leading this role. And well, it's money all the way. All right, I will come to the three role players that I had, starting first with the timer, Toastmaster Adarsh. I think that was very well done timer's report. You were able to give a lot of insights in terms of how much time was taken in. The recommendation for you is again in the subsidiary role players roles, we need to refrain from giving feedback. I felt somewhere you were probably getting into that mode of giving feedback. So I think that's something that I would recommend that you refrain from so that we stay on time. But I think otherwise it was a great job done. Toastmaster Jaya as the R counter, well, refreshingly so, you kept a razor's eye watch on what the R counters were, the clutch words were. And I'm really thankful that there were not many, which ensured that the quality of meeting was definitely maintained. But thank you so much for taking on the role of the R counter. I think that was very well done. And finally, my grammarian Toastmaster Bidu, oh my God, the word of the day was challenging. And I can state it myself because I did not use it, though I intended to use it, but I could not really frame a sentence in which I could put in. And I really marveled the Toastmasters who came in and used it in their speeches and their, the talks that they had. Kudos to you. I mean, I think one of the roles of the grammarian is to really find out words which are not commonly used and make sure that people are aware of it and they use it. That, ladies and gentlemen, concludes the general evaluation section. And it's been my pleasure to be with the club today and take on this role. I will hand this back again to the Toastmaster of the day, distinguished Toastmaster Milind. Thank you so much.
Thank you, General Evaluator, DTM Chayan Pant, for valuable inputs which we are given. And I'm sure I'll be aware of your time management, especially for me. Thank you for that suggestion. And for everyone, it was a valuable lesson from you. The feedback which we got will surely make each one of us the champion going forward. Now, audience, Toastmasters, guest, the voting link is already given over there. So go ahead, celebrate the National Voting Day by voting and giving your suggestions over there. Please go ahead. And while you are doing this, I'll hand it back to our president of the Toastmasters Club, Toastmaster Joseph Benedict. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Toastmaster DTM Milind. Thank you so much. You have conducted a very good session all over again, and kudos to you. For the guest, especially the general evaluator, DTM Chayan, will take up your advice because an advice is always helpful for running of the club. And secondly, I will thank all those role takers who come from far off land as well as in India. Thank you so much. Without you, today the meeting would not have been so pleasant. You have imparted all your knowledge in making the club's meeting successful. Thank you so much for that one. I congratulate all the role takers, all the speakers, and as well as the table topic speakers, whoever they are. They have done their job very well. And I have a great applause for all those participants who have embellished the meeting with their knowledge. Now, coming to the winners of the day, I would like the Zoom master or the voting master to try to announce the winner. Before I could complete, I would just request some of the guests, whoever are able to give us some feedback for our meeting about their appraisals. I would like to have it from the guest.
Hi, my name is Raja. Am I audible?
Yeah.
Yeah. I would like to share the feedback as a guest perspective. Today, the first time I joined this session because I get a few mails from this ID. I thought of what interested, what is this, how it is going to be. And touchwood, this 90 minutes went like a just. I have not feel that there is a 90. Initially I thought it is a 90 minutes of session. Then when I started attending the session, I didn't feel that 90 minutes gone by. So it was overall a great session, and it has been constructed also nicely, and it has been in a right rhythm, as well as it has been passing hands at the right time at the right stage. Overall, it was a great session. Thanks. I'm part of it today. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Is there anybody else who can give the appraisal?
I won't put my camera on. It's Stella. I am a regular guest here at your club. And the reason I come is because I really enjoy it. I look forward to Friday lunchtime just to come to see you guys. And I'm hoping that one day I will come and visit you face to face. The meetings, I love your meetings. They're so efficiently run and everyone is so energetic and there's so much enthusiasm in the meeting. So well done. And I'm hoping I'll put myself up to be your R counter next week. So if there's a space, I would like to do that. And thank you for having me every week.
Thank you so much for your appraisal. It's nice to hear from you. And we'll definitely invite you as much as possible whenever we have a slot to make for yourself only. Now, are there anybody else who can just give?
So the voting results are ready. Can I
Okay.
go ahead with it?
Yeah, you can go ahead.
Yes, we actually have around 10 responses right now. There are around 18 people in the room. So if you can actually rise up and cast your votes, that would be great. But I see a few questions in the chat box right now. I hear some people saying, why is Deepa missing? Well, the answer to the question is simple. She actually got disqualified. That's the reason why she's missing from the voting. It's very rare that we are this harsh, but we have to do what we have. I will give you another 10 seconds to cast your votes. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's it, we're done. I'm closing the responses. I'm going to go ahead and announce the winners for today's meeting. By the way, there was a voting form that I previously launched, and it actually had the previous table topic speakers in it. And some of you expressed your concerns. Trust me, I have acknowledged your concerns and I have made the changes to the form. And don't worry, no one actually casted their votes at that time. So as for the best supporting role taker, the best supporting role taker for today was Toastmaster Shanti. Toastmaster Shanti, thank you very much for taking up the role of an essay today. You were absolutely brilliant in the way you started. The best role taker for today is our general evaluator for today, DTM Chayan. DTM Chayan, thank you very much for joining us at the general evaluator today. For our best speaker for today is Toastmaster Kiran. Toastmaster Kiran, thank you very much for joining us. It was truly inspirational. By the way, Smita came very close. That's something that we must acknowledge as well, because it was her first speech, her icebreaker, she truly nailed it. The best evaluator for today is Toastmaster Jayati. Toastmaster Jayati, you are the best evaluator for today's meeting. Thank you very much for joining us. But now comes the most interesting part. Now I'm going to go on to the best auxiliary role taker. Then I'll come to the best table topics. The best auxiliary role taker for today is myself, Timer, Toastmaster Adarsh. Thank you very much for voting for me. The best table topic speaker for today is, can anyone guess who the best table topic speaker is for today? The best table topic speaker for today is Toastmaster Bidu. Toastmaster Bidu, you are the best table topic speaker for today. On that note, I'd like to close my role as the vote master. I'd like to hand it back to our presiding officer, Toastmaster Joe.
Thank you, Adarsh, and congratulations to all the winners of today. I have some few announcements to make. Firstly, the joint meeting between our club as well as the Malaysian club, Toastmaster, that is Passion Advanced Toastmaster Club, Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. We are going to have this joint meeting next week. And it is almost in between, there is a festival called Valentine. However, there will be a Valentine greetings between our two clubs in the next week. The other announcement would be our Toastmasters will be preparing the club level speech contest. I would like all the Toastmasters to prepare themselves in advance to see that you get good results on that day by winning the contest. Now I would like to adjourn the meeting by thanking everyone, wishing a very good night for all those who have attended today, this evening. I adjourn meeting number 652 to close.